Welcome to Master the Game, where we talk about all sorts of tabletop RPGs. Hopefully, you guys are doing well tonight. We are painting, well, Paula is painting some miniatures. Oh, look who's first!
Cameron! Oh, Jimmy was so close. He almost beat Cameron. That was so close.
That would have been pretty awesome.
Seconds.
Cameron is always the first one in here, Jimmy. So Jimmy was in my chat today. He was one of the people that was keeping it going strong today, so that was kind of nice. But yeah, so we talked about a little bit of Pathfinder. It was mostly, let's see, it was mostly just fielding questions and just talking with the chat, actually, which was really nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Sorry, I'm posting the link around. You know how that stuff goes, guys. So, anyways, there it is. Boom. Okay, Twitter shared. So tonight on the block, like I said, she's painting these miniatures of these harpies. She's got 3 of them. I kind of tried to show you guys earlier. My camera was not fine-tuned for up close, though, so it probably didn't translate well. You can see the colors. She's going for a purple and green and very vibrant tropical harpies, as I'm calling them.
Tropical harpy.
They're the tropical harpies, which might end up being a monster in my setting now. I don't even know who this is. Okay, whatever, we'll confirm. But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I feel like we've improved a lot in how we do this. Paula has we originally used to show our faces, and then we also showed what we were working on. But I feel like all the camera freezing and all that other stuff was just a distraction. Whereas now, showing up close mini painting seems like the way to go, and then we just talk, just like earlier today. You know, we just talk about RPGs and whatever comes to mind. So, you know, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. We would appreciate it. We'd love to see you come back to our chats. We got some regulars, you know, like Cameron. Jimmy, I think, is starting to become a regular, which we appreciate that. We love our regulars. Yeah, no. But yeah, so something big's going on in the RPG world, and I don't know what it is.
Oh my gosh, you guys. It's been driving him crazy. Like, the second I got off work and
That's
came
when it was
out
posted.
to the kitchen, he was like, something's going down. I gotta figure out what it is.
Well, it's not that.
What's going on?
So hey, Bill Allen's here. What's up, dude? Bill Allen's pretty cool. I've told you about him. Whoa, Lily's here. What's up?
Oh shit, Lily.
Looks like a ghost standing there. Bill Allen was at Gen Con 50.
Yeah.
Hung out with him a little bit there. I told you about it back then. Yeah. Anyways, just a second, guys. I'm gonna mute it just for a second so we can talk to our daughter real quick. Without fail, every time I turn the camera on, the kids just pop out. I don't know what it is. They'll leave us alone for hours.
Go, Lily.
Until it's time to stream. You're supposed to be inside. Go to sleep.
You're supposed to be in bed.
But yeah.
Sorry, she's super excited because tomorrow is her birthday. So
yes,
she's having trouble.
Yeah. So
sleeping.
we play every Sunday, her and I, on stream, and not every Sunday, but we try to, you know, if things are going well and stuff. And Fantasy Dice sent us a dice tray and some dice, and somebody on Twitter sent her some dice. So we ended up just putting it in as a surprise. It ended up coming about 2 weeks ago in the mail. And it all started because on Twitter I was asking for birthday ideas for, you know, a 9-year-old who's just starting to really get into D&D. And so a couple people reached out and wanted to offer some stuff. So, you know, it was kind of cool. So anyways, we filmed the unboxing. Unfortunately, her 5-year-old brother is here and he's a little distracting. You know how kids are. They get excited, even when their siblings get stuff. So tried to keep him a little quiet. Obviously couldn't, because, camera turns on and, hey, they all want to be on camera.
But anyway.
So anyways.
It was great.
Yeah, so that video, we'll post a video of that up in a couple days. But yeah, she was really excited. She loves the idea of being on YouTube. So, Bill says, Gen Con 2021, Juice. Plan on bringing the family. That's expensive, man. I don't know. Like, I don't think our kids would really enjoy Gen Con.
I don't know. The kids might be too young, but maybe I could go.
Yeah, Lily would probably be able to handle a few hours, but not a whole weekend of it. Now, Paula and I have talked about this. We talked about it after Gen Con 50 about going the following year. I haven't been since then. But who knows? Maybe depending on how things go with the channel and stuff, maybe we'll start attending some conventions together and see if in-laws or grandparents or whatever can watch the kids or cousins or whatever, do sleepovers, and go to some conventions. That would be awesome. I'd be all for it. And our 1.5-year-old, he'll be old enough next year maybe to stay at the in-laws for a couple days. So they don't move around real well, and he's all over the place, and our 5-year-old's all over the place, and they have a small condo, so it wouldn't work right now for 5 days or 4 days, but next year would probably work.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you can see we're painting the Reaper Bones Harpies. There's 3 of them. Again, tropical harpies.
It's all good.
Yeah,
So, was there something in particular you were going to go over or talk about?
Not this moment. You're okay.
Okay, because I need to figure out the animal companion thing.
Okay.
So how do they...
You got to read that.
I know.
You told me the other day you got to read the book.
Sorry. No, I'm just saying, do you know how they operate, as an overview? Are they their own thing that gets 3 attacks, or is there some sort of...
I have no... I think they act on your turn. But you get those 3... you command... I don't know. You'll have to look it up. I don't want to give you half understandings. What kind of paints? Cheap ones.
No, okay, so you say this every time.
Yes.
So
which paint are you using? Grab the paint bottle.
It depends on what...
Grab the paint bottle.
No, okay, so we have a mix of paints. We have everything from regular Delta Americana style. We have some fluid acrylics. We have Liquitex paints. And I think that's the majority of
right. So
those would be the big brands that.
So
we
right
have.
Now, what are the bottles you're using?
Stop! I just explained. I just gave my answer for this. You do this every time.
How many of those are
Liquitex?
Liquitex?
Crazy.
Because those are your better
colors.
ones.
No,
I know that's my point.
Out.
We do this every time.
You're so...
Most of our paints are from Meyer. Most of them.
No, they're not.
Yeah,
Most of them were paints
that
I had. Oh my god. You guys can't do it.
This is what it's like to get married.
I can't do it, you guys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
So I got all my paints when I was watching a lot of DM Scotty back in 2014 and 2015. And so then eventually she got into painting with me and started merging some of her paints with mine.
So I got all my paints
in college.
Yeah.
When she did art. So her paints are better than my paints.
Yeah.
It's true.
We do this every time.
I know, but you
drive me crazy.
You usually use the cheaper ones for most of the paint. It's true. Like these are not high-end paints.
No, that's folk art.
And this tends to be what you base with most of the time.
Doesn't.
Okay. I'm just saying. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
You don't. You're not the one who's painting.
I know.
You're
I'm sitting here watching you paint.
0 out of 0 things.
I'm answering the question every time we stream.
I know, and it's always wrong, and I always have to tell you.
Okay, so you got white and brown and gray right now, right? So which paints are those?
First of all,
that's why I said show the bottles.
First of all,
they're the cheap ones. They're not the nice ones that you brought to the table. This miniature right here does not have any of the high end paints yet.
Actually, it does. That's
which
what
one?
the purple is. It does. That's what the purple is.
Okay, I'll give you the purple.
Green.
What? Which one's the green?
The green.
Which one's the green?
The green's in here.
You did not use Liquitex for the green.
I did.
No, you didn't.
It's the green, you
Look,
guys.
the green isn't anywhere near the tip. She hasn't used that green in like 6 years.
That's not true. You're such.
Oh, Bill, I don't subscribe to that. I can't say the wife is never wrong. He says the wife is never wrong. I can't ever do that. I can't say that. I can admit when I'm wrong or when I think I'm wrong, but I can't say she's always right. It's just not how I work. And trust me, all the old men that I know tell me that. They're like, nope, wife is always right. That's the secret to a long-lasting marriage. And I'm like, I can't do that. It's just not in my...
Well, you know what?
You might have problems. When I feel like they're wrong, I can't do that. We have problems. We're arguing right now. We're bickering right now. So Jimmy said, I talked my wife and daughter into going to MoboCon in Mobile, Alabama. They loved it. And we're depressed that we couldn't make it this year because of COVID. Yeah, I understand that. We have Grand Con up here. And I've taken my kids a couple times because they used to be free for Sundays. I don't think they do that anymore. Now it's just an age, like if they're under 3 or 4 years old, I think they're free or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to how the exact rules are with that, but I haven't taken them because I'm usually a volunteer, and I usually volunteer a lot of hours. So, good to have a good mix of paint. Some are terrain, some for plastic minis, some for metal minis. Do you like metal minis, Bill? I'm sure you do. I'm not a fan. I understand the details a little better, and things like that, but I just don't like metal ones at all. Most of my paints are cheap apple barrel paints from Walmart. I have the expensive army painter stuff for the minis. Yeah, I hear you. If you add water to some of the cheaper ones too, just a little bit, you can get a nice flow on it. I'm not good at painting though. And that's why I'm not painting.
I know. I like how you are answering these questions and you don't do... Yeah.
You've said you don't paint well.
0 out of 0.
Paint like the way other people do.
I don't necessarily,
right.
But I'm just saying that...
He said you have a steady hand, Paula.
Oh, thank you. See, I don't even need your little mini holder thing.
Whatever. So we ordered last night. What I was saying is I ordered the Pathfinder Bestiary, Pathfinder Game Mastery Guide, and the gem screen. But then I also ordered the Citadel Paint miniature holder for 1-inch bases. And it also has the clamp so I can glue... because I have a few minis that are broken from my kids playing with them. And so now with these clamps, it'll hold it in place so you can glue it. So I'm pretty excited about that. But obviously I'm not going to use it for painting. That's all Paula. Well, maybe I'll use it for painting. Now that I can do that. Just kidding. Victor, hello. I wish everyone a good day. Victor, weren't you in here earlier today too? I think you were. It was awesome. We had a good little stream earlier just talking RPGs. Bill says, I missed out on GaryCon this year because of COVID. It was a huge bummer. Oh, I'm surprised you didn't participate in any of the online aspects of it because I heard they did that and it went really well. Yeah. DM Scotty, the godfather of the craft. Yeah, DM Scotty's the man. I like him. Him and DMG are awesome. Love those guys. Quest givers. They're actually one of my patrons. Speaking of patrons, if you want to see us paint bigger miniatures, we need some funding for that. So if you want to back us on Patreon, we've got a couple different reward tiers. You can show your appreciation. You can jump in on some personal one-on-one chats. We might change that reward tier. We have a guy who's in it and is not that interested in that aspect of it. And so we might just get rid of that tier and just, I don't know what we'll do with it. And then at a higher tier, you can name NPCs in my world for some of the games I stream. Right now we're streaming 2 online games. And
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so you could name an NPC, have some creative input into the campaign a little from that standpoint. Obviously, you don't get final say. I can't just give you guys full reins on it, but give you a little bit of input, something to give you some rooting interest in things. Victor says the figure is looking good. So there's 3 of them. She's painting 3 harpies.
Yeah, there's 3 different ones.
So she's doing...
It's a family.
It almost looks like the Hero Forge color printed miniatures a little bit.
Oh, do they?
They had
like they're so blocked right now?
No, because of how it so they have this like winged Valkyrie looking one in the advertisements of Hero Forge, and it almost had that like gradient almost. I mean, obviously you don't have a gradient yet, but you know what I'm saying.
Color scheme?
Kinda, not really. It was orange rather than purple, but I'll show you. I'll pull it up. Anyways, so Jimmy said it's not as big as the bigger cons, but it's the largest one I've been to. The gaming area is decent, a lot of cosplay, and some decent forums. How many people do you think are there, Jimmy? And what's the venue? Is it like an expo hall or a hotel? Where do they have the event at? Flea market? I don't know. Cameron, Victor. Yeah, but Real Life Problems called me away. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a bummer. SGU. Oh, SGU is Stargate University. Stargate. I don't know. I see Cameron said Stargate, so I followed his lead. Victor said super geeked up. Yeah, I made Paula go to Grand Con once. So, Paula, would you say you're more of a casual gamer?
I would say that I am more of a casual gamer.
So, Paula seemed very apprehensive about going. She's like, oh yeah, it might be fun. Yeah, and then one time I took her for a day. Not even a full day, just a few hours so we could play some games and I could show her what it was about. And she had a good time. Like, I feel like that day propelled her into this, yeah, let's play more board games. That she was not like before that. But like we've had a few things like that, we had some of the games. Don't worry, it's a stink bug. We had some games we ran with some very immersive role players, and I think that changed both of our styles of play. And
yeah, we're actually playing Call of Cthulhu tomorrow night. Saturday night. Sorry. Oh yeah.
Today's Thursday.
Sorry, it feels like I took tomorrow off of work, so it feels like, it feels like Friday.
Right.
But we're playing Call of Cthulhu on Saturday, and guys, I'm like really pumped about it.
Okay, so
I'm really
here's the color one.
To try it. Oh, okay.
Do you see why I felt like it's similar almost?
Yeah, I mean, like, kind of.
It's the same tone colors. Yeah. It obviously their gradient is more gradient, but but it's not exactly the same color palette. It's close. Anyways, I was just showing her the female with the sword. She looks like a Valkyrie or something with wings. From the Hero Forge original Kickstarter for color. But yeah. Oh yeah. So anyways, we are playing Call of Cthulhu Saturday. The original game master was going to be Roll Stats. His name's also Bill, by the way. Bill's awesome, but apparently some stuff came up at work, and so he seemed busy for a while. Like work has been overwhelming lately, and because about a week and a half ago, when we really started trying to finalize stuff, you could tell he was not all into it. You know what I mean? Because he was obviously distracted.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably something that maybe, like, he needed to call it off, but he was, like, unsure if it would get better type of thing. Sounds like he had a bunch of stuff dropped in his lap at work.
Yeah. So he called it off 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
And then, luckily, I knew someone who really wanted to run some Call of Cthulhu for me. So, and I'm not a fan of Call of Cthulhu, just up front. It's not that I dislike it. I just don't know if that type of game, the mystery, really is intriguing to me. Or even the paranormal stuff. Like, even when it comes to watching TV shows, that's Paula's cup of tea.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Yeah, I was going to say, I love that stuff in shows. But I have not played it before, and I'm going to be honest that I have also not watched anybody else play it. So I don't have a ton of preconceived notions going in about it, I guess you could say. But I'm actually really excited about the idea, which I'm surprised about because typically I don't like playing super modern games, but I'm pretty excited. It's a modern setting. It is a heist where we've all just like completed a heist together.
Something like that.
And we're
waiting for the drop off or something.
He gave us characters, and they're all like
it looks like it's from a module. So if you know what we're talking about, please don't spoil it for us.
Yeah, we don't know anything about any of the other characters, really. And we just have, like, he gave us a paragraph kind of about ourselves and our background. And it's like, you know, so what are you? You're Mr. Green.
Am I green? Yeah, I'm green.
And then we have Mr. Red and a Mr. Beige. And then I'm Miss Black. And so we don't really know anything about each other. We don't know anything about this heist either, but we all know we have like one sentence of information about every person who's there. And then we know like a paragraph about ourselves.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm kind of excited because it seems very like Quentin Tarantino meets murder mystery. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said to him. And he was like, that's exactly what it's like. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I have such high hopes for it because that's perfect. That's great for me.
So Bill said, this bill can help you with Call of Cthulhu. I'm old school. So we have 4 players. The DM is Outsider68, Sean Connors. He's from England. Yes, England. And he has been wanting to run Call of Cthulhu for me for a little bit. So if you want to play, we can get you into that game, Bill. It's all up to you, though, if you're available Saturday at 8:30 Eastern.
So can you, like, how do you know? Maybe you don't know. So maybe we just need to figure out. I need to figure out a general idea of, like, how the roles work and stuff like that.
He'll go over all of that. I would just wait.
Just don't worry about it?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, he knows that we're noobs.
There also was no equipment either.
I think it's percentage based, by the way.
That's what I was thinking. But I also noticed that there's no equipment.
He hasn't given us our character sheets yet. Oh, unless he gave you yours. I haven't gotten my character sheet.
Yeah, he gave me a description.
Oh, I did get a character sheet, actually.
Yeah, there's no equipment.
Yes, I did. I emailed it to myself.
Or anything like that. And so it's just like...
It's not like D&D.
Do you need that stuff? Or like...
I would ask him because he's the one running it, personally.
I mean, yeah, but like there wasn't even a spot for equipment on the sheet.
Yeah, it's probably because the sheet's probably multiple pages. So he only sent us the
when you play, okay, so here's my question about. Oh, Jimmy says Cthulhu Reservoir Dogs. That's totally what it sounds like.
Kind of, without the hostage.
Okay, and Bill says it's 100%. It's not 100%.
Based on
percentile.
Yeah.
So your profession gives you a set of skills or knowledge with percentile. Oh, he also said earlier, if you have a chance, check out the Halloween Call of Cthulhu live stream we did. It turned out pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Okay, we should check that out.
Yeah, I got it. I got that. I probably will make Paula watch it, and I probably will duck out. I just don't have time to watch live streams. I don't watch the TV in this house.
No.
If I do, it's usually shorter stuff. Or if I'm like, I guess I could probably watch it when I'm up with Gabe. He's a 1-year-old, so it won't matter to him. So there you go. Yeah, so the other Bill, when we were going to play in his game, he kind of gave us the same rundown of how it kind of works. So, which is why I remembered it being percentiles. And yeah.
You can look at the numbers.
Your profession, like Bill's saying right here, your profession is what gives you your skills and your knowledge. Like, that is your skill set. That is what you can do. Rather than classes, it's your profession, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Equipment doesn't matter very much in Cthulhu most of the time. You usually get a package of equipment based on your profession. Yeah. So, basically, I would assume that if you're a photographer, you have a camera, rolls of film, you know, you could probably make general assumptions.
But how do you know what your profession is?
Should be
it
on your sheet.
Doesn't say,
should
does
be.
it?
Should be.
I'm about to look.
I'm not opening mine right next to you because you're going to cheat.
I'm not going to cheat.
Yep, you're going to cheat and steal my information. So, not doing it. Not doing
it. Okay.
Interesting. Interesting. Oh, it's politics.
Oh, Sorry, I thought your sheet was up. Dang.
No, I was on Facebook.
Guys, I thought I was going to see something cool.
While she was talking, I pulled up Facebook because that's the easiest way for me to shut up. So I was going to work on my Pathfinder character. My very first... Not my very first, but my first... Well, the first game I ever play is 2nd edition, is going to be with this character, I should say. So on July 11th, we have a 2nd edition Pathfinder game. Bill said, for more advanced games or ongoing campaigns, you can customize your characters, equipment, etc. Yeah, exactly.
So the whole premise is that like you build up these like horror points basically before you die and stuff like that, right?
If you die, you usually go crazy before you die, and that's the end of the game.
You know, but so how does that work if it's an ongoing campagn?
It's slower. Whereas a one shot, if we don't go mad or die, then it was dumb. Like I'm going into this expecting TPK or TPI, total party insanity.
Okay.
Right off the bat. I don't know. Sudra, Raven.
So do you adjust how you're playing your character as you go insane? I assume you should.
I mean, you should.
You
probably.
should.
Yeah, I think you just role play. You go with the flow, right?
I mean, that's my whole intention is to just like go with the flow.
Yeah.
But are you gonna dress up?
No, I'm just gonna wear a green shirt like he asked.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. If you want to dress up, go for it.
Well, I was gonna see. I don't know that I have anything great that works with my character, but we'll see if I can find something.
You're black? You have lots of black stuff.
I might have to. No, but like.
You're a criminal. Like, wrap a black shirt around your face, like you're going out for the corona, and you're set, right? Wear a black dress.
How do you know I'm a criminal?
Because we're all criminals. It was a heist.
Yeah, but how do you actually know I'm a criminal?
Why do you gotta ruin it for me?
What?
See, she's ruining it. Now she's not a criminal. Now she's doing it against her will.
What
Look at that. She's giving up the info.
I'm in disguise.
Jimmy says you do a lot of running away. Bill said, yes, Juice. Most likely with a one-shot in Cthulhu. Some people will die or go insane. I hope I do. I hope I do. The sooner the better.
Why don't you like it so much?
Why don't I like it?
Yeah, why do you think you're not going to like it?
It's not that I don't think I'm going to like it. I think I'm going to have fun. However, I don't think the supernatural Cthulhu type games appeal to me for many reasons. One, it just doesn't make me feel tense or on edge in any way, shape, or form. So I really like, in RPGs, combat. That doesn't mean I need combat all the time, but I like combat-focused games. Like, again, the story doesn't have to revolve around combat or anything like that.
But what you're saying is the story needs to revolve around combat.
No, not at all. It's just, I like having character. Like, what's a good example? Lord of the Rings is not focused around combat, right? It's really not. Yes, there's big battles, but the actual story of Lord of the Rings is about getting the ring to a volcano and dropping it in. It's actually about evading combat. But there is combat.
It's not really. Okay, continue on.
Well, Frodo's story is.
That was an extremely simplified version.
Yes.
Continue.
But Frodo's story is not about the combat aspect. It's about avoiding combat, getting the ring to get it destroyed, right?
Okay,
that's the gist of it. So that would be a fine story for me to play, and I would actually really enjoy that, right? That would still be in line with my cup of tea, right? If I was just playing the Hobbit story through the Lord of the Rings, okay? Whereas this isn't really about that. Like, you don't go into it physically confrontational. Like, even in real life, in situations like this, I'm not a flight kind of person. I'm definitely a fight kind of person. You know this. You've seen me almost pulverize people to a bloody pulp when we worked at the bar together. I used to be a bouncer. That's how we met. She was a waitress, bartender there, and I was a bouncer. And we had a guy who swung a bar stool at me, and I had to drag him down the stairs and out the back door.
Anyways, on.
He still grabbed me, and I was gonna hit him, and I stopped. But anyways, what?
What's your
So that's just my thing. It's just not. There's no combat. Like, that's not. I mean, you can have it, but you're gonna die. It's heavily lethal, right? You're not meant to go into things like, hey, I'm Rambo, or whatever.
So what you're saying is, like, it's more realistic?
Yes, minus the supernatural, and I don't believe in ghosts, so I don't think that helps either. You know? I just don't get into it. I don't ever feel like, oh, I'm scared, or, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I can't. Maybe it's a little bit of my, like, hyperness or attention. I don't think I have ADHD or anything, but I get bored easy with a lot of things. You know?
You'll be fine. You're gonna have.
Oh no, I know I'll have fun. I don't doubt that. I just don't think it's gonna move up into my favorite games anytime soon. You know what I mean? Oh, I could be wrong. You know.
Maybe you'll just be like, it's so awesome playing this game with my wife because she's so cool.
It's possible. Anything's possible.
That's a quote, you guys.
Victor said, Paula, just go out, buy more clothes. No. Sudra says, I played Skyrim the whole night and boom, it is 3 a.m. And I was like, oh yeah, let's watch the stream. I'm glad you joined us. We love having you. Skyrim's a pretty good game. Are you still playing? So, gosh, I haven't played that in years. We had it on PS3. I never beat it, but I've got over 200 hours into it. I'm like level 99 and like blacksmithing and some other stuff. I think I was working on spellcasting before I tried to beat the game. I wanted to like get my spellcasting up and get all the spells. Bill says Cthulhu can include combat. It really depends on the keeper, which is the game master, and the style of the game. I like to mix in opportunities for combat by using mortal NPC encounters, like criminals, cultists, etc. What about bank tellers? Because that's what we would need, right? Bank tellers.
Well, I don't know.
I guess we could use police with nightsticks rather than guns.
I don't know. So the question that, like, so did we already finished the heist, though?
I think so. Yeah, we're sitting in a warehouse waiting until midnight.
Yeah. So, like, we don't know what the heist was, so...
Well, no, he'll catch us up in the game. Again, I don't think I think he'll get us there.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. You can watch me stumble through Cthulhu on Saturday. Paula's going to take to it great. I have a feeling she's going to really love getting into her character for it. Jimmy says all of our Cthulhu games has been set in the 20s, which makes... So that's originally what we were going to play. We were going to play in the 20s. Paula's character was going to be a rich widow. It sounded like she killed her husband. We had another guy who was going to be...
Allegedly.
we had another guy who was going to be a silent film director and was looking for his next big star. I was going to be the cameraman, and then the other guy was going to be the wannabe actor, but also had something else built into his character. And obviously that fell through. And then this Saturday is going to be modern, like set in today. And yeah, that's about all I know, other than what we've said already. We've been given about a sentence about each other's characters, and that's it. Some of it may be true, some of it might not. And then we've got like a paragraph about our own characters. Bill says, I got to cut out Juice, but I will let you know if I can make Saturday night by tomorrow afternoon. Take care. Awesome. Yeah, let me know, Bill. It'd be really easy to incorporate you into it. So it'd be awesome. It'd be a lot of fun. So like I want to enjoy Cthulhu. It's a very popular game. One of the most popular games that was ever streamed on my channel was that D20 Cthulhu game. Like, but I couldn't bring myself to being like, oh my gosh, like I want to play this a bunch, even though it was super popular. Like for a long time, it was, I think, had the most watch time of any video on my channel.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was up there. Actually, let me pull it up. It might still be up in like the top 5. I think it's actually become D&D videos over the years because they just still get views from 5 years ago. Whereas that one still gets views, but not at the same rate. So Lifetime, top videos by watch time. D&D Basics. A Heroes Unlimited game is my number 2. D&D Basics. It is. It's number 4. D20 Call of Cthulhu. So it's still doing well. I think it's at almost 2,000 views total. 31 likes, 2 dislikes, 27 comments. So, yeah. Played with Lloyd Collins, Andrew Knapp, Robert Ogre. And then our DM was Ian Christensen. So, yeah, you can go check that out on my channel if you're interested. Victor said I can... Oh, and that was the game where, you needed me to come help you out or something. I think you were pregnant at the time. You may have been pregnant or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you made me come upstairs to rub your back or something. So I had to duck out mid-game. But it was streamed on my channel, so I had to leave it streaming. So, anyways, Victor said, I cannot see anything that'd be bad about sitting in a warehouse and nearing midnight. Right? Just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be weird noises. They're going to see something that other people don't see. It's going to get us moving around the room. And then all of a sudden, it's just all out craziness. We're all insane. Right?
I mean, apparently that's the goal. So, let's do this.
Sudra said, me and my follower battled... Oh, I forgot you could have a follower. Who's your follower? What are they from? What faction or whatever? Me and my follower battled dragon, and from nowhere, 2 frost trolls, 3 frostbite spiders, and a bear appeared. It was the hardest battle I've ever fought, and sadly we lost it. Oh, that's rough. Playing with combat enhancing mods. Oh, that's right. You're playing on the computer. I am not a noob, I promise. It's okay if you are. All right. So I'm gonna build my character. Let's get into this Pathfinder 2nd Edition character.
You haven't done your character yet?
Not for the one shot. No, we got a month. A month from today, we're playing.
So okay, wait. So hold on. The gnome that I made is for the one shot, right?
Yes. We don't. Right now, we do not have a campaign. The campaign was going to be with Bill, but he was busy with the work stuff for this week. I don't assume that's going to let up in a month. I don't know what his work schedule looks like, but right now that's on hold in my mind. We haven't put anything on paper. We haven't confirmed dates. We haven't done session 0. So that one's off the table for now. It's on hold. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So right now there is no Pathfinder 2nd Edition campaign. There's just the one shot. So my ancestry, I already know it's going to be a dwarf. And I've already got the whole concept. He's a dwarf fighter. It's going to be great. I'm excited. We're all doing level 4 characters, which is cool. So let me just jump straight to my dwarf. Here we go. Dwarf. First thing is 10 hit points. So 10. And he gets 20 feet of speed. I forgot where I put speed on here. The character sheets are not the best. Again. Oh, there it is. It's going to take some getting used to. Oh, the milk has arrived. So, Melchior, there's a lot of people who call milk. It drives me nuts. Just saying. Do you call milk?
Wait, hold on.
Have you ever heard some people call milk?
Yeah, it's a Midwest thing.
Or dollar when they're talking about money. Give me a dollar.
Oh, no, that I haven't heard. That's weird.
Yeah,
I don't know who you're talking to.
Yep.
But
I knew some people.
Milk is a Midwestern thing.
Sure. All right, so ability boosts. I get Constitution, Wisdom, because dwarves are wise, and a free one. So, of course, I'm putting it into Strength. Why would I not? Right?
I mean, clearly, there's no other choices.
There is no other choice. And Charisma score is -1. So, there we go. So, right now, Strength is 12, Dex 10, Con 12, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 12, Charisma 8.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yep. Languages are common in Dwarven. Later, we're going to be putting these into fantasy grounds. I am not well versed on it. It's a little slow and clunky in my opinion, but you know, it is what it is. I'm the milkman, not the milkman. Sudra says, milk, that sounds familiar. Oh, I know, you're that guy who thought that scale mail doesn't exist. Hey now, guys, get along. Get along. Get along. All right. So, traits, dwarf and humanoid. Because again, traits are very important in this game.
Yeah, there's so many like traits and skills and abilities. And...
You feeling overwhelmed by it already?
Well, no, the only thing I'm worried about is just because I have spells and I also have a familiar.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll be fine.
I hope I didn't mess that up.
You won't. I can't remember which dwarf I was doing. Death Warden dwarf. The Death Warden. That's right, because I'm the bringer of death, baby. Boom. Melchior said, well, I read it somewhere that was supposed to be authoritative, but perhaps they were limiting the context and I misunderstood. Maybe. Doesn't matter. Does not matter.
It's going to be all right.
We will all survive. All right, so your ancestors have been tomb guardians for generations, and the power they cultivated to ward off necromancy has passed on to you. If you roll a success on a saving throw against a necromancy feat, you get a critical success instead. And we're fighting undead, so hopefully that comes into play.
Oh, it seems like it could be useful.
Yeah, so... excuse me. I feel like I should put something in the notes under saving throws, right?
Like about what?
So, about that I get success equals crit success against necromancy. Right? That sounds good. Effects.
Yes.
Perfect. Boom. I should probably also put that down in under heritage on the feats. So right here, Death Warden. Perfect. Oh, see, it cuts off. That's why I don't do that. Death Warden. Page 35. There we go. All right. Next is my feet. Because again, it doesn't tell you anything in the class or in the race ancestries that you get a feat. You have to go back to earlier when it tells you to go through the steps to figure out, oh, I need to grab a feat.
Yes.
Like there's just some weird like I really wish they put all the ancestry stuff and steps in with each ancestry. And the same thing with the classes. Just like 5e does it, I really wish they did the same thing. Because I think it would make it a lot easier. It would at least be easier for me if I'm telling a new person how to make a character without sitting right next to them.
If it was like that?
Yeah. Like if it was like 5e. Because in 5e, that's all I would do. I'd be like, yeah, just look at your class on this page and read it and do everything until it says the level you're not at yet. Like it was pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow.
Yeah, and I could say it across the table and they'll be fine.
Yeah,
but with Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Page.
Yeah, it starts on this page. Do everything until you see that it says 2nd level and don't do that. Yeah. You know? But I can't do that with Pathfinder 2nd edition. It's not like that. It's a little bit more hand-holding for new players. Jimmy says, I ran the FRPG day. Oh, free RPG day last year of their new Goblin game based off of their 2nd edition. It was a rough game to run. So it is hard if you don't know what you're doing, for sure. I can tell by reading it, too, it would be difficult. I have some of the
just seems like
RPG
there's
stuff.
So many conditions.
Conditions aren't necessary.
And, like, the combat, the flanking and everything like that, you know, that you were watching earlier, and, like, situational things. rules. Very specific situational concepts. So
Yes.
that's what I mean by conditions when I say conditions.
Oh, okay.
It's very like situational things, I guess.
Dave from Nerdarchy had someone on and they were talking about Pathfinder. And I think it was actually Michael, the Dead Aussie Gamer, who's playing in our game Saturday. And Michael name dropped that he and I discussed Pathfinder for a couple hours on stream one night. And Dave was like, "Oh, we're good with 5e. We don't think we're going anywhere for a long time." And he's like, all the situational stuff and conditions. He's like, in fact, just a second. And he did a quick Google search for conditions in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And he counted them. He's like, there's like 20 some conditions. He's like, and I'm looking at them and I don't feel like they're self-explanatory. Which there are a lot of situational things, like being flat-footed. Like if you get attacked while climbing something, you're considered flat-footed. If you get attacked in a surprise, you're considered flat-footed. And so when you're flat-footed, there's certain abilities that come into play then. Like sneak attack from a rogue would be something that would be like, oh, if they're flat-footed, you get crit damage or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but there's some of the conditions aren't even relevant to a person. Like a broken weapon is a condition in one of those conditions. Things like that. So it's not all based on your character. Whereas 5e conditions are just things that apply to the character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And some of those are kind of wonky. Offhand I can't think of it, but you can be grappled, but it doesn't actually matter because it doesn't do anything. Whereas restrained does do stuff. I just think as long
as I'm playing, whoever is running the game is willing to just be like, oh hey, remember you get this because you're flanking them or something like that. As long as somebody's willing to do that for me for a hot second, then I'll be able to figure it out.
Well, if you're playing with miniatures, that's easy for the GM to do that. But if you're doing theater of the mind, it would have to come from the player. I want to position myself to flank.
Yes.
To hit this
correct.
monster.
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
It's a little different. It would depend on that. But if we were playing with miniatures and you weren't sure, you could say, I want to position myself to flank. Can I do that? What do I need to do? And it's literally just the opposite square.
Right. No,
if it's the corner, it's the opposite corner. If it's the flat, it's the opposite flat.
Yeah. No, I know that, but I'm just saying, whoever is running the game, especially if you're running for new people, I think you just kind of have to be willing to be able to do that.
Right.
And help people out just a little bit.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
So Jimmy says, that's what my problem was with trying to understand the rules. A lot of back and forth looking up rules. Yeah, that's why I stopped playing 1st edition and we jumped straight to 5e when it came out. Is because I felt, as the game master, I could not run the game fairly by the rules without having to look things up all the time. And I don't like looking rules up all the time.
Well, neither do I. But, if you're running the game and you get to a situation where you need to look up the rules, you can just make a ruling and you look it up later. It doesn't have to be... I mean, you have to assume then, okay, you don't want to play with people who are, super serious and going to crucify you for that.
Right.
Right? So you got to pick your party correctly. But
sure.
that's just what you do.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be...
Yeah.
Perfect all the time.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree. BN Drake says, stop by to check on the stream. Harpies are impressive. Keep it up. Got a game to run and players to kit. I mean, no, they'll be fine. See you Saturday at the warehouse. What could go wrong? So that was BN Drake. He was in here earlier. He's the one who had said your miniatures look great, by the way.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Melchior. See ya, Drake. Got another D&D session this evening. Not sure what's happening next since we got the MacGuffin last time. Nothing. Game's over. You should just stay here all night. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I get it. Because, first edition, I got into pretty quick. And I don't think I spent enough. So I had played Society once before I ran a game. And I can't say I really read the full rules, right? I skimmed them. I thought I had it down because I had played one game. You know, I had watched a couple games online, so I thought I understood it and realized real quick I had no clue.
You did not know what you were
But
doing.
I knew that when we played our game, when I ran it for you, just solo. Mm-hmm. But I could make a ruling. It wasn't a big deal. So then I tried to catch up on things I didn't know, and that was my theory. It was like, okay, I'll just keep running it, and as I don't know things, I'll look it up between sessions, and that's how I'll learn and fill in the blanks, right? You know, because the book for first edition is almost just as big as this. It's also probably like 600 pages if I remember right. So same layout type of stuff, you know. And it just got to a point where I was like, man, I feel like I should be getting better, and I feel like I'm not getting better at the rules. And rules matter to me. So they always have, always will. So, you know. Not quite a MacGuffin, since a true MacGuffin isn't supposed to do anything. And this one does, but close enough. Well, you think it does. Maybe it's an illusion. All right, so I got to choose my feat. So I thought I figured out what I wanted to do last time.
Yeah.
Yes. Dwarven lore, no. Weapon familiarity, no. I'm not worried about that. Unless it makes them better. You are trained. No, that doesn't do anything. Uncommon. Rock runner. Your innate connection to stone makes you adept at moving across uneven surfaces. You can ignore difficult terrain caused by rubble and uneven ground made of stone and earth. That one's fine. Stone cunning. You have a knack for noticing even small consistencies. Craftsmanship. Blah, blah, blah. No. Unburdened iron. You've learned techniques first devised by your ancestors during their ancient wars, allowing you to comfortably wear massive suits of armor, ignore the reduction to your speed. There we go. Unburdened. Yeah, unburdened iron. Page 36. Yeah, so I understand why Pathfinder was tough to run, even second edition, especially now that I'm digging into this. I've spent, how much time do you think? 12, 14 hours?
Yeah, something like that, maybe.
You know, we've done this on stream where I've gone through it a lot, but most of it's been front-loaded in the class section. Classes and how to make a character stuff. I've gone through this, I've glanced at the skills. I have not gone deeply in the skills, but I've heard the skills in this can be kind of clunky. I've watched some reviews that said the skills are not where this system shines. So I need to spend some more time in skills. I've looked at the feats. The feats don't feel like there's anything too game-breaking like in first edition. In first edition, I felt like you could tie some things together really early on and do some stuff. Equipment seems pretty straightforward. However, they put combat rules there. The one thing I was wondering about that I haven't seen mentioned is dual weapons. So if you've got a sword in both hands and you attack, how does that work? Because the way the game is set up is you have 3 attacks. First attack is normal, second attack is a -5 to hit, and your third attack is a -10. There's some feats, some abilities that alter those numbers. And I've seen things that say you can get an extra attack, like from feats. So you can do 2 attacks on a turn. You do your subsequent penalties. And so say on your first turn, you do the double attack thing from a feat. So first attack's normal, second attack's -5. Your second action, you choose to do a third attack, say, it's -10, right? Mm-hmm. And then if you do another attack on your third action, it would also be -10. It doesn't go up anymore, right, than the third penalty. So that's fine. But now trying to understand how, if you're using 2 weapons, how would that work?
How does that work? Yeah.
And there's nothing that I've seen.
Are there any feats about 2 weapons?
I didn't see any. I'm going to look in a little bit. I don't feel like there's a ton of feats in this game, to be honest. So 2 hands. This weapon can be wielded with 2 hands. That's not what I want. Versatile weapon can be used to deal different type of damage. That's not it. Twin. These weapons are used as a pair, complementing each other. When you attack with a twin weapon, You add a circumstance bonus to the damage roll equal to the weapon's number of damage dice. If you have previously attacked with a different weapon of the same type this turn, the weapons must be of the same type to benefit from this trait, but they don't need to have the same runes. Oh. So, in other words, you just roll once for the double attack and scale up the damage? Is that right?
Read it again.
When you attack with a twin weapon, you add a circumstance bonus to the damage roll equal to the weapon's number of damage dice. If you have previously attacked with a different weapon of the same type this turn. I don't know. It's kind of confusing.
I don't know, guys.
I don't know either. I'll figure it out. It's something that I'm curious about because I don't like how 5e does dual weapons. So need to figure out how twinning works. It sounds perverted when I say it like that. Twinning.
Yeah, what's your problem, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Let's see. That might be in playing the game. Or, yeah, it's got to be in playing the game.
I mean, you would think.
You would think, but not everything makes a ton of sense. It's not their fault. Attack rolls. Stride, strike. I'm looking for twinning now, specifically. If somebody knows about Pathfinder 2nd Edition and dual weapons, I would love to hear, because it's not something I've considered playing with this character, but I would like to know if it's actually beneficial. Let's see. More attacks you make.
Oh, Victor's going on an ice cream run.
Ooh.
That wasn't necessary, Victor. You didn't have to bring me ice cream.
I had a McFlurry tonight, so I'm good. Thanks for asking. Oh, okay. Here we go. Multiple attack penalty. So you're always going to do the multiple attack penalty like it says. For example, let's say you're wielding a long sword in one hand and a short sword, which has the agile trait in your other hand. And you are going to make 3 strikes with these weapons during the course of your turn. The first strike you make during your turn has no penalty, no matter what weapon you are using. The second strike will take either a -5 penalty if you use the long sword, or a -4 penalty if you use the short sword, because it's agile. Just like the second attack, the penalty for your third attack is based on which weapon you're using for that particular strike. It would be -10 penalty with the long sword and -8 penalty with the short sword, no matter what weapon you used for your previous strikes. The multiple attack penalty applies only during your turn, so you don't have to keep track of it if you can perform an attack of opportunity or a similar reaction that lets you make a strike on someone else's turn. So it almost sounds like you could do 6 attacks on 3 actions if you are dual wielding.
Yeah.
Which is what I was hoping to see. That is exactly what I was hoping to see. And that right there almost makes me interested in using 2 weapons as a ranger. Because you remember how toned down they get them?
Yeah.
For multi-attack?
Mm-hmm.
So if it tops out at, I think, a 6 or something early on as your third penalty, like that's still really good. When 4 of those attacks are a -6 penalty. Like you're still doing pretty good. Yeah, okay. Interesting. That might be something I consider doing. So, unlike 5th edition, where you literally only get 1 offhand attack in a whole round, no matter how many attacks you have. Like, I just don't like that. I understand they did it for balance, but I almost house ruled that in the past.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I just don't like it. From what you said, it seems like that's only going to be +1 damage bonus on the twin attack thing. Short sword is 1d, probably 6 in every edition. Only heavy weapons get 2d. Yeah, but heavy weapons are 2-handed weapons. So a long sword's like a d8 usually. In fact, in this, it's probably a d8 if I go back to the equipment.
It is.
Yeah, that's what it is in 5e.
That's
sure.
what it is in every, like, D&D edition.
I believe you. I think it is. Well, they changed weapons from 2nd edition till now. Because that's why your brother was confused about some of the stuff.
Yeah, that was,
Warhammers or something. No, I think it was Warhammer.
And yeah, but I thought a mace was a D6. And I think it's Warhammer. Yeah, and those were all D10. Mm-hmm. Second edition.
Short sword D6. Yeah. Let's see. What's a great sword? 1D12 in this.
Oh, that's very D&D of them.
Mm-hmm. A maul is 1D12 on like 2D6 and 5e.
Yeah.
What about a great axe? Great axe 1D12.
That's all the same as like...
Yeah, it's all 1D12s.
That's all the same as what 3.5 was.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. This is still based on that.
Yeah, no, I know.
It still I think has that same OGL associated with it. But yeah, it sounds like you can make multiple attacks with, like, on the same turn, like normal. Yeah. I don't even know why it would say a long sword in one hand and a short sword in the other if it's not saying that. And you're going to make 3 strikes with these weapons. Maybe it means 3 strikes total.
Yeah, it could be.
So maybe it's not being what I hope it would be.
Well, do you need any sort of like proficiency feat to be able to do that?
I don't know.
Because that's usually what the difference is. Like, if a system requires you to have like a feat or multiple feats in order to...
Like 5e definitely had a feat, and it also had like a thing that it was associated with.
It's usually like a feat and then another feat or something like that that you need to be able to eliminate the penalties. Or you need to have like some obscenely high stat somewhere. It's like second edition made it worthwhile if you had an 18 dex or... Yeah.
So all right. So Cameron says... So I think I misread how the 2 weapons work. So don't get excited yet, Cameron. I'm still figuring this out. Bastard swords are still in Pathfinder 2nd edition as well, though. And they are, they're in here. Don't worry. There's still a million weapons. It's got like 4 charts of weapons. So you have a ton of them. Jimmy says they got rid of the bastard swords since 2nd edition D&D.
Yep.
Yeah, bastard swords have been in both Pathfinder games, though. All right, so I chose my feat. Now I need to go into backgrounds. So I have no idea what background I'm going to choose. I'm a fighter, so I probably want something with strength.
A fighter? Well, you got that, like, you know...
The Guardian thing?
Yeah, like ancient history people.
Right. So...
With undead and... Stuff like that.
Yeah, but there's nothing good from a background for that. You know what's... Okay, so Farmhand, I was thinking about that. But it gives you a boost in Constitution or Wisdom. And that doesn't make sense to me. Every farmer I've ever known is super strong. Like, they don't look strong, but they're all strong.
Oh, yeah. They're like
I feel like it should be strength over Constitution. Like, I've known some farmers who can't.
Yeah, but Constitution is like endurance. Like, they can do hard work for a long time.
Maybe.
Like, just day in and day out.
Maybe. Could go Gladiator.
Oh, that might be a good one.
It's strength or charisma and 1 free ability boost. Oh, okay. Martial Disciple. You dedicated yourself to intense training and rigorous study to become a great warrior. The school you attended might have been a traditionalist monastery, an elite military academy, or the local branch of the prestigious mercenary organization. I think I'm going to go with that because that makes sense if I was raised to be a guardian.
Oh, right? Yeah. I would agree.
So my background is very stereotypical of what I would probably play. Not intentionally, I swear. Mm-hmm. Martial Disciple. So you choose 2 ability boosts. 1 must be strength or dex, and 1 is free. So, of course, we're going strength. Of course, we're going to go Constitution. Bam. You trained in your choice of the acrobatics or athletics skill. So let's see, what do we want? Let's go athletics. Really hone in on that strength-based stuff, you know? And you gain a skill feat, Catfall if you chose acrobatics, or Quick Jump if you chose athletics. You're also trained in the Warfare lore skill. Oh, yeah. Warfare lore skill. All right, so I got that.
So you right there.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And then I think background feats go under general feats. No, that's not true. Oh, there they are. Background skill feats. And I got the Quick Jump. I don't know what page that's on yet because it doesn't say, but I'll figure it out. All right, what did they say? Oh, so Jimmy says, very sad. I also loved the Bastard Sword. It was Helm's chosen weapon in Forgotten Realms. What is it now? Would they switch it to short sword or something? It should be a long sword, right? I mean, that's probably the closest thing to that. I don't know. Anyways, all right, let's move on to the class.
Yeah, what's next?
Fighter. And then after I get my attributes from this, I choose 4 free.
Feats.
No, I'll choose 4 attributes before I get into my feats. But yes, I'm curious to see the dual weapons now, though. I have a feeling it's going to be feat based to determine how many attacks you can do. Oops. Or you can do like 2 attacks as a single action.
Did you just rip a page?
No, I bent it and creased it. I was not happy about that. This book already has a ding on this part right here, and I don't know how it got that. See? Somebody like bumped something into it on the counter. I don't know how.
Not it.
Well, I'm assuming it wasn't you, but somebody did. So, anyways, it's been moved around a lot. That's what I attribute to the damage. Into the house, out here. Into the house, out here. Kids running around with toys. I think it may have gotten hit on the bookshelf by Gabe today. By the 1-year-old. The book destroyer. Destroyer of books. I'm making him a hobbit or a halfling. He'll be the destroyer of books. But yeah, so speaking of making him an NPC, again, that's actually I just put that up on the Patreon yesterday. I just thought it would be something cool, you know, with running games. Like, there's people who like offering input, and I've also thought about if they want to do that, maybe I haven't added this into the tier yet, but give them like a designated like inspiration or a hero point to give to people. So not only do they get to make an NPC, but in all of my games at the start of a session, if they're in the chat, they can give a free point kind of thing.
Or during the game.
Yeah, or during the game. But preferably they have to be in the chat to make it happen, you know, because they might want to wait until a specific moment or whatever. So, Cameron says they had bastard swords as exotic weapons in 1E. Was it the same in 2E or earlier? Seems a bit silly that an extra bit of handle length means I need a feat to wield it. LOL. Oh, was it based on feats for the bastard sword? I'm not talking about bastard swords. I'm talking about dual wielding. Like having 2 weapons. 1 weapon in each hand. So yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm talking about needing feats for. Like, based on that. Alright. Expert in perception. So that's pretty nice.
That'll be hard for you to, you know.
Why? That'd be 4+ level rather than 2+. Is that what you're talking about? The perception being hard for me?
Never mind.
No, I missed your joke.
It's fine.
I don't get it. It was over my head.
I meant that perception's hard for you.
That's supposed to be like a diss.
Yes, that was supposed to. That's exactly what it's supposed to be.
I don't get it.
It's fine.
I don't think they're doing chosen weapons. I found it mostly in Forgotten Realms wiki. Gotcha. Pathfinder still does that. They tie weapons to deities. Melchior says Bastard Sword was still exotic in 3E too. Okay. Yeah, it's probably in like an additional book or something too, if it wasn't in the core book.
No, it was in there.
It was? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You gain proficiency ranks in the following statistics. You are untrained in anything not listed. Oh, really? It does not tell me anything. Okay. Saving throws. Expert fortitude, expert reflex. Expert fortitude, expert reflex. Trained in will saves. Nope, not expert, trained. Oh, come on, move over. There we go. Okay. You're trained in acrobatics or athletics. Well, hey, I already took athletics. So there's acrobatics.
There you go.
And you are trained in a number of additional skills equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier. So 3 additional skills. So I'm a dwarf. I feel like I should take medicine based on what the game master was saying. So I took that. Ooh, stealth would be great. Not that I'm dexterous. Let's go intimidation also.
Oh, that's always a good one.
Yeah, that's not normally what I would do, but let's do it. Okay.
I always love to take intimidation.
Yeah. All right. Attacks. Expert in simple weapons. So where's this located? There it is. Expert in simple. So that's a pretty big deal. Expert in martial. Trained in advanced weapons. I don't know what that means. Oh, I think those are like exotic now. And then expert in unarmed attacks, which again, I hate that. All right. Defenses. Trained in all armor. So let's go back up to armor. Trained. Oops. I think he's trained in unarmored as well, yes. And trained in fighter class DC. Okay. Perfect. Melchior, I only know that because Neverwinter Nights is based on 3.0 and Bastard Swords are exotic there. Yeah, Neverwinter Nights is pretty cool. My buddy had it. And he had the modding book and was able to mod it. Because wasn't that like a whole separate deal that you had to pay for if you wanted to be able to do that? Okay, so I get strength or dexterity. So I'm going to go strength. Boom. And hit points are 10 again. So no matter what, I'll have at least 20 hit points plus... Yeah, I'll have at least 22. So that's cool. All right. Class, features, ancestry, background, initial proficiencies. Attack of opportunity is a thing I can do.
Ooh, cool.
Yup. So I will put that down under actions. Attack of opportunity. We'll just call it AOO. And you gain the attack of opportunity reaction. So actions, I'll just say reaction. And it's on page 142. Are there any traits? Does not have traits associated, does it? No. You lash out at a foe, leaves an opening, make a melee strike against the triggering creature. If your attack is a critical hit and the trigger was a manipulate action, you disrupt that action. This strike doesn't count toward your multiple attack penalty, and your multiple attack penalty doesn't apply to this strike. Well, that's good. Fighter feats. At first level and every even-numbered level thereafter, you gain a fighter class feat. Fighter class feats are described on 144. So let's get that first fighter... Actually, before I do that, I should do my 4 attribute bumps, too. So, strength is 1, dex is 2, con is 3, and intelligence is 4. That gives me an additional language and an additional skill. So for the skill, let's go crafting. For the language, what are you playing? You're playing a gnome?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have goblins. I'm going to make goblin my other language.
Of course you would.
Yeah, I want to be able to communicate to our party. Or at least not let them know that I know what they're saying. That'll be fun, don't you think? All right, now let's go pick that feat. So my attributes are done.
So these guys are looking pretty good.
Actually, I think so. Oh, you did choose to leave them topless?
Yeah, I did decide to because there was no good way to do it. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, you could have done a band around them or something. Like a
Yeah,
halter top.
I felt like I wasn't going to make it look very good.
Okay. You could have painted like your own feathers on it. Like stipple your own feathers over it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
I don't know. You're the art major. Or the art minor. Neverwinter Nights was recently re-released as enhanced. Yeah, so was Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And all the stuff that went along with it. Like all the additional things with those. Because we got those last year. Beamdog. Yeah. Now, I believe Neverwinter Nights also on the enhanced version. Is that also on consoles? Because I have Baldur's Gate on Xbox One. I want to say it is, but I don't know. All right. So, yes. Okay, here's our answer. Double Slice. You are wielding 2 melee weapons in each different hand. Each in a different hand. You lash out at your foe with both weapons. Make 2 strikes, one with each of your melee weapons, each using your current multiple attack penalty. Both strikes must have the same target. If the second strike is made with a weapon that doesn't have the agile trait, it takes a -2 penalty. If both attacks hit, combine their damage, and then add any other applicable effects from both weapons. You add any precision damage only once to the attack of your choice. Combine the damage from both strikes to apply resistances and weaknesses only once. This counts as 2 attacks when calculating your multiple attack penalty. Okay. So this is a little tricky. So you lash out at your foe with both weapons. Make 2 strikes, one with each of your 2 melee weapons, each using your current multiple attack penalty. So if I'm doing this on the first attack of the round, does that mean I have no penalty for both attacks?
That's how I would interpret that.
I think that's how I'm interpreting it as well. If the second weapon does have the agile trait, you don't take an additional penalty to that second attack either. Whereas if it's not, it would be at least 0 - 2. If both attacks hit, combine their damage, but it would only get resistance once. So there's the other perk to doing that. Because it does still count as 2 attacks or 2 actions. So I think that's why. It's because it gets rid of that multi-attack penalty.
Gotcha.
And it gets rid of the resistance twice. So there's your perk to using 2 weapons. That's good, but it's weak at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's always been every system always dumbs down.
Yeah. So that's cool, but it bothers me at the same time. It's not what I was hoping for. Yeah. And I wish they didn't hide it behind features. Or feats. Personally.
So then it just makes it hard.
Yeah. Because I feel like... Yeah, it's okay. Alright, Exacting Strike. You make a controlled attack, fully accounting for your momentum. Make a strike. The strike gains the following failure effect. This attack does not count toward your multiple attack penalty. What? So you can do an Exacting Strike, and if you miss, it doesn't count toward your penalty. That's what it means. Gotcha. That's kind of cool.
So what weapon are you thinking of using?
I'm doing a shield for sure.
Okay.
Because of I want to try that part of the game, since that's a very important part of it. So I'm probably going to take Reactive Shield, which means I don't have to give up an action to use my shield. Otherwise, you have to use your third action to use your shield.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to use a battle axe. That's a dwarven weapon, so just made sense to me.
Where's my yeah.
You found what you wanted?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are you done with those?
No.
Oh, okay. Are you done painting for the night?
No, I was just trying to find the cover to put on this one.
Oh, okay.
Which I noticed didn't have a cover on it when I went to grab this one.
Right. I gotcha. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a battle axe, but I wouldn't mind using a sword as a dwarf. I mean, let's see. I've got dwarves that use swords in here. See? He uses sword and a dagger.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's fine. I was just asking, if that's what you were thinking.
Yeah, I'm thinking this. Not like I like that miniature, but I mean a sword.
He's showing me this.
A battle axe and shield. And heavy armor. As heavy as I can afford. Because I can bypass the armor movement penalty. You know what I just realized? Man, I'm missing a lot of miniatures. So I used to have this guy too that was pre-painted rather than just the clear version. And I don't know where that's at. I don't know what happened to all my miniatures. I've lost, I'd say a good 30 miniatures. That's sad. What's that?
Said I don't know.
I blame the kids. It's probably Caleb or Lily.
No, this started before they were really into.
No, it started when they always were playing with them.
No, it started when we moved.
To Celine.
Yeah,
that's when it started. That's when I lost everything. Somehow living in Celine, I lost a bunch of my miniatures. Anyways. Doesn't know if Neverwinter Nights is on consoles as the... Yeah, that's okay. It's alright. No biggie. Alright, so let's... The point blank shot looks cool too. That's with a ranged weapon.
Oh, yeah. That existed in like 3.5.
Power attack. You unleash a particularly powerful attack that clobbers your foe, but leaves you a bit unsteady. Make a melee strike. This counts as 2 attacks when calculating your multiple attack penalty. If this strike hits, you deal an extra die of weapon damage. If you're at least 10th level, increase this to 2 extra dice. I don't understand why you would want to do that. Because it's counting as 2 attacks. You might as well just attack twice.
What do you get?
An extra weapon die of damage. I would rather make 2 and use my modifier with the damage twice than use 1 attack.
Yeah, but it counts as...
It counts as both of your attack.
Yeah, but you're probably taking
the second
whatever
attack.
The minus is from your first attack. Like,
There is no minus on the first.
No, yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying. Versus if you attack the first time and then you attack again a second time, you're doing the -5 to hit. So that's the benefit.
You think mathematically that works?
Yeah, because you don't do the extra damage. Like, you're more likely to hit, but you're also going to do less damage. So...
I wonder what the math is on that. Like, how beneficial it is. Like, percentage-wise compared to average damage dealt. Like, this is where your brother would be hilarious trying to figure stuff out.
Oh my god, he would have so much trouble making a character.
No, he wouldn't, because he'd just do mathematical equations.
No, because I actually don't. I think that although that resonates with him, I don't think it's actually that easy for him to...
So do practical knowledge on paper?
Yeah, to realize what is the actual mathematical advantage.
You think so?
Yeah, I actually am starting to realize some of that.
Because of the questions he asked?
Yeah, and just the things he says. Like
I just don't think he's able to think situationally as well.
My brother reads something one time and he understands it and he gets it and he can regurgitate it.
He memorizes it. He doesn't necessarily understand it, but he can regurgitate it verbally.
Yeah, he is like got the best memory ever. So he's, really smart because he reads things and he remembers them.
But trying to process it and filter it through like emotions and practical use and situational use is where he slows down.
Right. So
that's why sometimes he'll come back to you 2 days later and be like, so I've been thinking about what we said.
Like, oh, okay.
Maybe I'm wrong. I would love to have this conversation with him because I'm sure he's self-aware enough to understand. Because I feel like I'm the opposite. I feel like when it comes to applying things to situations, like even with these, I'm like, oh, this might make sense in this, and da-da-da-da. Like, I can do that second part much quicker. It's that formula up front and math part that I'm like, I really got to think about that.
Well, I think
like really hard. I didn't go very high in math.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. I would have to think about it.
I generally estimate, though, usually, rather than, like, knowing the exact number also. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And so then I make a decision based off of that. I don't ever get to an exact this percentage unless I hear somebody else say that. So yeah, I'm going to take Reactive Shield. That's just the most logical thing. So right here was Attack of Opportunity.
And I am going to give them orange eyes.
Yeah? Go for it.
Yeah, I think it's a good call.
Shield Block. Actually, Attack of Opportunity is not a feat or a feature. Shield Block is. So Shield Block is the first one. And that's a general feat. So I should probably put that under general feats rather than class feats.
Probably.
No, because that starts at 3rd level. So no, I should put it under class feats.
I don't know. You can't really tell on the camera.
About the eyes?
Yeah, but you can see in person.
Yes, it's the angle you held it though. Tip it down. See, now you can tell.
Okay, I don't know.
It was just the angle. There you go, Paula. I didn't mean to make it locked to the whole screen.
What?
Like that. Oh, I made it bigger for you so you can see it a little better. There you go. Yeah, I think it'd be really interesting to pick your brother's brain though on stuff like that. And I actually like how your brother is very interesting to talk about this stuff with because he thinks differently than I do. You know what I mean? So I really enjoy picking his brain. Like I know he'll ask me questions, but I enjoy seeing his thought process on it all too. Mm-hmm. That's like one of my favorite things. That's one of my favorite things about these chats. We used to do the chats like with other people also in the Zoom call back when we used Hangouts, and we would talk about these things for hours back when we lived in the Yellow House in Grand Rapids.
Yep.
So you'd be like, "Oh man, you've been on there for 4 hours." I'm like, "Yeah, but we're talking about like my favorite shit ever." Like this is what I love. It's no different than me talking about sports or whatever. Shield Block. That doesn't seem right. That can't be all that he gets. Oh, that's right, because I didn't put the other one. It was Reactive Shield. Was the other one I was going to take. And that's on page 145. So Reactive Shield. And this is one of the cool mechanics of Pathfinder, I feel, is just how the shield works. So you don't automatically get your armor class from shields in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. You have to use one of your 3 actions on your turn to use your shield, to raise your shield. Or you take this feat, Reactive Shield. So Reactive Shield, the trigger is an enemy hits you with a melee strike. You can snap your shield into place just as you would take a blow, avoiding the hit at the last second. You immediately use the Raise a Shield action and gain your shield's bonus to armor class. The circumstance bonus from the shield applies to your armor class when you're determining the outcome of the triggering attack. So, again, it would, depending on the shield, whatever. And I don't know if you hit under, so if your armor class is 17, and then you decide to use the Reactive Shield. Oh, I guess it's when you're actually hit is what it says, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you can only do it then. So I guess if it hits under your armor class, you're not going to have to use your shield. So that's cool. And so then you don't take damage to the shield. So you take damage to your shield, and eventually your shield can break. And then the overflow of damage. So say your shield had a 5 left that it could absorb, and they do 8 damage. You're still going to take 3 of that as your shield cracks and shatters or breaks in half or whatever, however you want to role play it. But that's part of what makes this game cool to me. And I feel like they should have, and they might have through feats, I haven't read everything, but I feel like they should have done that with parrying with weapons as well. And that's where we would have talked about, if you're unarmored, you just parry it with your weapon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that would have been cool.
So I decided there's these little rocks on the base of these harpies. There's like a little rock or something like that. I decided it's going to be some kind of gem, and I'm painting them each different colors.
Mm-hmm.
And then from your perspective, / mine, whoever uses them as a DM, it's nice because they all have a different color gem. So then it's easy.
I've been meaning to look. I think I might have one more harpy. I feel like there was 4. I think I told you that the other day.
I'm not going to paint it right now.
You don't want to paint the 4th one now all of a sudden?
No.
Why would you not want to do that?
No. Snooze you lose, buddy.
I'm just kidding. I do think I have more.
Snooze.
They might be inside with Caleb's miniatures and my miniatures that have now mixed in. Or I might have more down here. I don't know. They look cool. See, I'm fine with you just painting the bases mostly black. You know?
Yeah, I
think
just did
fine.
like black with like some white and gray like brushed over it.
Yeah, I think
for
that's
texture.
totally fine. Because if you put like grass and stuff,
whatever.
what if I use it in a dungeon? What if I use it in something that's not, you know?
Well, yeah, we also
just
have
weird.
can use some of this that I have over here, this medium, and we have some black sand.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
That would be good too.
Right, which would be
Things
fine
like
on the
that.
silver washer. I think that would be definitely good on the silver washer.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I think they look good. Are you done?
Yeah, I think I just might be done with these.
They're fine. They're just
like
regular.
harpies.
Yeah, they're just regular monsters.
I feel like if this was like a player character, I'd spend some more time on it.
I agree. Yeah, I don't think you need to do more. I think those are good. I think
Probably
those will
okay.
get good use. I might actually use them now because they're painted, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have used them unpainted really, unless I was playing a module. So all right, reactive shield is what I took. Now that I've done that, I have to go and determine my equipment.
So it's 10:30.
You want me to call it off? We can call it off.
I might be done. Well, I'm done painting these.
Do you want to
and
pick
it's
what you're going to paint
10:30.
next time so I can set up a thumbnail for it next time?
That's a good idea.
Do you think you might want to paint tomorrow? Since we won't have another chance until at least Sunday?
Maybe I'll paint her.
I think you should. The elven sorcerer?
Mm-hmm.
I think she's a sorcerer. I'm pretty sure she is. Let me see if I can find her box.
Oh yeah, like what's her little card thing look like? So that I know how it's not going to look when I paint it.
You look at them all the time like you're going to use them.
No, it's actually just really nice because you can see kind of little details sometimes. Let me see.
I know, I was trying to see if I could read it. It's definitely an elven sorcerer, though. It's just hard to read.
Oh, but it's... Oh, so she has one. This is what the chick looks like on the
One
card.
red, one blue. I don't like that.
Yeah, probably not doing that.
I think you should do both green. Do a green flame theme.
Well, I did... Yeah, I was saying I did
like the
green
sorcerer.
flame with the other one.
I know. Green flame. I'm totally cool with it.
Maybe.
Or purple.
I was going to say pink.
Pink might be fine. Welcome back, Victor. We're just about wrapping up. We're actually picking right now the miniature she's going to start
We're going to do this guy.
when we paint again. Do you think we're going to do it tomorrow?
Maybe. I will try, but it
You don't
depends.
work tomorrow, so you're going to have tons of energy.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
gonna be a
also
good day.
Lily's birthday. There's going to be lots
Sure.
of stuff going on, so...
Sure.
You know.
So you're saying yeah. I'll set up a thumbnail. We'll see. Either way, maybe I'll hop on for a little bit. So next week we're playing Wildemount on Friday. So then Saturday we've got this Saturday we got Call of Cthulhu, and then this Sunday we don't have anything, so we could paint them too.
Yeah.
You just want to say Sunday?
Victor says pink is the girl's color. Well, I mean, okay. There's 2 issues with that statement. Number 1,
here we go.
this
Feminism.
probably a chick. Number 2, it's
Probably
not
a chick.
a girl's
She's clearly
color. Like, how is a color a masculine or feminine thing? Like, flowers are pink. Does that mean that men can't like flowers? Like, why can't men have a favorite flower? Like, nobody ever
I like
asked
pink
them.
shirts, but I don't have any.
You know? Yeah, but you got that awesome pink tie, and it's super cool.
I like to wear that with black, though.
Yeah.
Because it matches my heart.
You're so stupid.
Jimmy says, that's what I do. Look at the package, or I'll look up pictures of the mini to see how other people painted them. She does that all the time.
Yeah.
I do too, but I like them not less colorful. I like the more practical ones. Like if you're making a rogue, they shouldn't be wearing vibrant pink because that totally is the opposite of stealth.
No, I mean, like, it doesn't
Or rangers,
matter.
not green. Like, I don't know.
First of all, but you know, nobody wants to sit here and paint brown and green over and over and over again with some black for like the next 10 years, which is the most realistic way to do.
I feel like if I could paint as good as you, that's what I would do over and over and over again.
Okay, I guess Victor was just messing with me.
I don't know. I think Victor really thinks it's a girl's color.
Sure.
He probably thinks blue is for boys, too.
Cameron and I are on the same side. It's
fine.
No,
it's all good. What am I going to do when I level up? I get 2 more feats.
I don't know.
Ooh, there's second level here.
We need to decide
Brutish move, assistant.
what color to paint her hair.
Light brown, clearly.
Clearly because
why? Every color you've given every hair you've given exotic colors has ended up looking bad, like the gnome. All I go back is the gnome. The first gnome you painted.
Billy's looks good, and she has blue hair.
Does she? Where's hers?
I don't know. Where's hers?
Probably still in that box.
No, it's not. It's done.
It's not done. Nothing has been sealed.
I'll see if I can find it.
If it's not in that box, it's up there, and we don't have to worry about it.
It's totally not in there.
Then it's in that box, that Amazon box. Can you reach that? Yeah, careful. I have them all standing up in there. She wants to show you. I don't even remember. What color did you choose? Blue.
It was blue. That's what she chose.
Was it?
Yeah, it's blue hair.
Move it backwards and down.
See?
It's more white. That's probably why it didn't stand out to me.
It's got blue hair.
I suppose. The cape is cool on that one.
Yeah.
The cape's really cool.
It doesn't have to be an exotic color, but like, okay, this dude's got red hair.
Right.
Right? A lot of times they do red hair for something.
That passes for brown, though.
It's clearly red.
Okay. It is, but I'm just saying it could pass for brown. Like I could claim it's brown if I had a character. Do a sky blue and thin highlight with pink. Oh, that sounds awful to me.
Let's do it, you guys.
It sounds so awful.
You're never going to play the character.
No, but I might use it as an NPC or something.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this guy's got white hair. She's got blonde hair, brown hair. I've done exotic colors, like, twice. And this gnome was the
Show the gnome.
one.
Show the gnome.
Okay, guys, no, you gotta be nice.
She's trying to break it before you can see it.
This is the first one I ever painted.
I got it. I'll show.
This is the first one I ever painted, so it looks jacked. I get it. It's
It doesn't
fine.
actually look jacked. You never finished it. I remember you saying you were like, because we had a session coming up and you were just like, whatever.
It was the first one I ever
It's actually
painted.
not that bad. You just never painted the skin is what is going on with it. At all. It's still the base white.
Yeah,
I mean, you could, if you wanted to just touch this up now, you could make it look really sweet. Especially since you've improved a bunch. It actually matches. Look at this. Oh my gosh. They're like spitting images, but one looks good. It's the exact same tones. Exact same like color scheme and everything. Look at that. The same blues, the same purples, 100% the same. They could be she could be his apprentice if you finish it.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. There we go.
So I'll leave that one out.
They're best friends.
Do you have any others in there that just are not even close to done that for some reason I put in there? Other than the cool one I did.
This little fairy should get finished.
Oh, there you go.
That one just got a couple base colors. I don't know why.
That was because we were painting that in the basement at the old house watching Lord of the Rings. Remember when we were just all over the place with what we were painting and touching? Right? Black and yellow, someone says. So, Jimmy says, I would claim it as brown, even if it's red. See, that's what I'm saying.
This guy needs to be
black
finished.
with a white forelock. I don't know what that is.
That guy needs to be finished.
There you go.
There's a bunch of stuff in here that needs to be finished. This bird. Oh, see? The bird goes with the Medusas.
The Medusas? You mean
or
the Harpies?
Medusas, the Harpies.
Could.
They're in their jungle theme.
Tropical?
Yeah, tropical.
Tropical chicken?
Tropical chicken.
Tropical something. Tropical raptor.
Oh, I can fix your zombie lady.
What zombie lady? Oh, yeah. This one is great. So this is what I did. This was the one that I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm done. I quit.
And I'm just like, just paint colors.
Now, to be fair, show one of the other ones I was doing, like, that isn't that. I was trying to make an Ancients-themed paladin. Oath of the Ancients or whatever, out of 5e, and they use, like, a lot of, not flowers,
this is
but plants
his
and
finished
stuff.
miniatures.
No, come on. That's not finished. I handed it to you to help on that one, too. No, what about the snakes or the lizard guys or something? Those are fine.
None of those are in here. He's got a scorpion.
All right, I will never paint again. I take it back. It'll never happen.
Spend like an hour on.
I didn't spend an hour. I was painting like 40 miniatures at once that I did in an hour.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're mean. You don't.
She's
the reason I don't paint miniatures.
You did this guy. I helped you a little bit at the end, but you did that guy.
Yeah, I liked him. I tried to use colors because you said I needed to use colors. So I did the orange and blue shield.
So
The washes didn't take real well on him, though. Oh, well. Double shot. Man, there's some interesting... Oh, so here it is, dueling parry.
Okay.
You can
Right,
parry
I'm
attacks
done.
against... That's fine. You can parry attacks with you against... Attacks. You can parry attacks against you with your one-handed weapon. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to AC until the start of your next turn, as long as you continue to meet the requirements. So...
Oh, this is what she got, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was so
Okay,
excited
guys,
about it.
I'm going to show you this.
Yeah, we recorded
I
a
might
quick
have to
thing.
mess up with the camera a little bit.
That's fine. I'll do this.
But, like, this was what somebody sent us for
Fantasy
Willy.
Dice sent this.
And it's like this
It's a dice tray.
cool, like, dice tray.
And they sent the blue dice with it. Somebody else was kind enough on Twitter. They said they wanted to send her dice because I was asking about what I should get her for her birthday. So they sent these like purplish pink ones, which since you have that out, let me throw her other dice in there just so she's got those too.
What happened to the metal ones?
Those haven't came. Those are with the Eldritch Academy stuff. So we've got some things coming from...
we got those.
I asked you today if that came in the mail. You said no. So we've got stuff coming from Eldritch Academy, which is like they do things out of wood. We've got metal dice. We've got a small little dice holder out of wood that's coming that we're going to use for knickknacks. And then it's like a book that has a foam insert for dice, spell cards, and things like that.
It's so cool. And she was like so pumped because she loves unicorns.
Well, this is a war unicorn.
Oh, okay.
It's special. Yeah, that's cool. So then when she gets the metal dice, she could either put them in here or put them in the other thing. She could probably put her preferred dice in the other thing too.
Yeah.
I think that'll be cool. I think she's going to love it when she gets that. But who knows? Maybe it's still processing. I checked it today. So I just wonder if because of COVID, they just don't have people working.
Yeah, which is
Or they
fine.
aren't getting things, and so they haven't even started to do the order yet. So, and we put it up there so her brother doesn't mess with it. So, Anyways.
Okay, I'm gonna go in.
Yep. So we're gonna end our stream, but thanks for watching, guys. So tomorrow we have a interview going up on the Master the Game YouTube, which is where you're at right now, where I spoke with a DM's Guild writer, and her name is D&D Elise. So that will be up tomorrow, and she's published all sorts of things on DM's Guild. Sounds like she has a professional gig she's also writing for at the moment. So you can tune into that tomorrow. It should be live, I want to say first thing in the morning, but it's possible it might be the afternoon. So if you could watch that, comment, let me know what you think. I would love to hear some feedback on that. I try to do those interviews Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're interested in supporting our mini painting, feel free to go over and support us on Patreon. $1 goes a long way, especially if a few of you are throwing in $1 a month. All it takes is 4 people to buy a pack of 2 of those miniatures, and there's a whole week of painting. So actually, sometimes 2 weeks of painting. So yeah. So anyways, love you guys. Really appreciate you guys sticking with us, and we'll see you guys next time. Game on.